What's up, YouTube? What's up, Steelers Nation? How we doing today? I'm recording this video. It's currently Sunday evening. We play tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. We play against the Giants. I know I'm wearing blue. This is not Giants blue. This is a much darker color, as you can see. But hey, man, we got through last week. All the hoopla of it was a whole bunch of Steelers in the headlines. Justin Fields getting benched. Is it the right move? You have a bunch of really prominent people, including Ben Roethlisberger, and there was a majority of the people, including myself, were saying you don't take Justin Fields out. You ride with the hot hand. Pause. I will be the first to admit that I was wrong. I did not expect Russ to come out there and look that good. I didn't expect our offense to look that good with Russ being in the game. I was worried about our running backs being able to find success, which they most certainly did. Najee Harris got over another 100-yard game, back-to-back 100-yard games, back-to-back touchdowns. Jaylen Warren might not have filled up the stat sheet, but he made some really great blocks on passing downs. He got us some first downs on third down, making a cut, making two people miss, getting us first downs, being scrappy, toting the rock for us. Cordell Patterson actually comes back this week. So we had all that with the Russ going on. Plus we had the George Pickens news and the drama. People were saying we should trade him. People were saying that, that enough is enough. He comes out. He has his best game of the season. Statistically, I think his Colts game, he had more yards. But this game, he had over 100 yards. And he had a touchdown. He got his first touchdown of the season. We know one in Denver got wiped away from a dumb penalty. But the offense was really rolling. It seemed like Russ coming into the game was really like a shot in the arm, not only to the receivers, but also to the line. Seemed to be blocking really well. The running backs, like we just talked about, really were explosive. We were able to move the ball. We put up 37 points. People were laughing and smiling on the sideline, celebrating in the crowd. It was a spectacle. It was great to see at Heinz Field, man. And I know a lot of us have been really waiting for a game where we didn't have to sweat down the end of the game and be worried, man. So coming off of that win, we should be looking to kind of build on that. Russ was doing a great job selling pump fakes. I expect that to continue, help out not only our passing game, but also the running game, because they might think he might not actually be handing that ball off. It's just sometimes the little things really add up to a big picture, and I don't know, hopefully we maybe aren't as rusty in that first quarter. We can come out firing a little bit sooner on offense, which we've been looking for all season. It's the week before the bye, so I expect the team to kind of go out there and lay it out, knowing that they have a week off coming up. And we're playing a team in the Giants where, outside of their defense, which their defense is for real, they have a very good defense. They have Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, as I hear they call him, which is probably one of the best nicknames I've ever heard in my entire life. He's at a defensive tackle, nose tackle, one of the two, and he's got like 8 or 9 sacks on the season, which is absurd. They're like saying, that's Aaron Donald level production, excuse me. He was the last defensive tackle, nose tackle to lead the league in sacks. It's usually an edge rusher. So that dude's having a hell of a season. Like we gotta block that guy, or he can wreck the game in a way TJ can. With that amount of sacks in these many weeks, bro, that's fucking crazy. He's really balling out. So we gotta stop Sexy Dexy. There's another playmaker on their defense that it's slipping my mind right now. I apologize, but Sexy Dexy isn't the only one. There's a couple people on their team who are currently making waves. So on that note, I kind of want to share some things here with the Giants as far as how their season's going. We like to look at these numbers. Shout out Zed and the Steelers for sharing stat muse. But we see here their defense is a lot like ours. There's a lot of green. There's a whole lot of green here. 10th in points, 8th in yards, 7th in play action, 19th in average yards, 18th in rush yards. eighth in rush attempts. Now their average rushing is a little, yeah. But passing yards fifth, passing attempts fifth, sacks they're first. Like, bro, they are balling the fuck out. Like, this is not. I mean, their record might not say a whole lot for them, but this defense is for real, man. So we got to watch out. We got to keep Russ safe. We got to keep him protected. I know a lot of people were talking a lot of shit on Arthur Smith earlier in the season, but I mean, I like the dude. I like his moxie. I like how he speaks. I like that fucking mustache he got. The coach's mustache that he's rocking is pretty sweet, and I think he is dialing up some winning plays for us. They may not always work, It's the NFL. Everybody's professional. It's not going to be 100%, but you could even in the games where our offense was struggling, you could see how much better it was with his play calls compared to Matt Canada's. Just the flow, the run versus pass, and then just some of the things he schemed up, like the bootleg to Justin, the touchdown pass to Darnell Washington earlier in the season, the game that he's dialed up for Russ, like was perfect. There was a lot of play action. There were some quick passes, not a lot of screens, which I'm surprised we don't really do too many screens. I would like to see that integrated a little bit more, but it just seems like he knows how to get the most out of the guys that are available to play. Like he's put them in position to be successful, and that's all I can ask from the offensive coordinator. After that, the guys just got to make some plays. So it was just ironic they were talking about him, but in the same breath saying that there's guys wide open, Justin's not seeing them, and then they're saying that the line's not good, and then they're saying that the receivers aren't good. It's like everybody's got an opinion. It is what it is. Half the time, people are just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So don't take everything with a grain of salt, or with a grain of salt, whatever the phrase is. But essentially, we just can't fuck around. That's my point. We're looking good. We're 5-2. Baltimore just lost, which is great. So we officially are number one in the AFC North. Cleveland, they won, which I'm happy for Jameis Winston. I didn't catch his quote after the game, but I know they're probably out there eating W's, and I'm happy for them, especially if the team they beat was the Ravens, who were right on our heels. So we got a game advantage on them. Cincinnati got whooped by the Eagles, so I think they're 3-5 now. So we're 2 games ahead of them. Could be 3. So this is why we got to win tomorrow. We need that win. We need that breathing room. We could win this division and have home field advantage in the playoffs. Like, let's fucking go, man. Because we know the back half of the season ain't gonna be easy. So we need these wins right now, right fucking now. So I think we're gonna be good. The Giants offense, I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this because bro, like this is Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada were not this bad. Daniel Jones, I'm not gonna kick the man while he's I shouldn't say kick the man while he's down. He's not down. He's up 40 M's. But I mean, he sucks. I'm sorry. Like he's good, but he sucks. Like he's like Josh Allen, but worse in every way possible. And Josh Allen sucks. But I don't know, dude. I shouldn't say that shit because he could come out and light us up. I give everybody their respect. These are all professional athletes. He's 100 times the player I could ever be. Don't get me wrong. But he turns the ball over a lot. That's really my only knock against him. If he did everything else the same but had half the turnovers, I rock with him. He's not necessarily my cup of tea. Hopefully with the Steelers, our defense has been playing good. I think Dante Jackson might be out this game. So we might see some Pierre in there. I don't know who they're going to have spill in for him. But if our defense can, hold up, if we can get some pressure on him, he's going to turn the ball over. So don't be surprised if we get another pick this game. Don't be surprised if we force a fumble this game. We just got to take care of our business. We got to do what the fuck we supposed to do. And we can make this dude turn the ball over, and it'll make the game easier for us. So watch out for that. Singletary, I don't have one bad thing to say about him. I like the way he runs. He's very aggressive when he runs, very stomping style, kind of like Pacheco. So I don't have anything bad to say about him. Neither do I have anything bad to say about Malik Neighbors. That dude is a superstar in the making. He is huge. He goes up and gets the ball. He's got 424 yards on the season. I'm sure he's probably got maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns. He's got 3 touchdowns. So that dude's for real. Joey Porter Jr. is probably going to draw this assignment if I had to guess. But their offense, we saw the red. If our defense comes to play, it's gonna be over. Like we can limit them. We can really limit them on offense. And then if Russ goes back there and Russ cooks, let's get 24 points. Let's get 35 points. Let's get 35 points. Let's start scoring over 30 points a game, every game. Maybe not every game. 25 to 28 is good too, but let's get 35 points on the board, man. We gotta get used to scoring touchdowns. We need to score touchdowns. We've kicked too many field goals for far too long. We need to know what it feels like to score multiple touchdowns every game. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some numbers on the Steelers themselves here as well. So obviously Justin Fields is still leading our team in passing yards, but Najee's yards have really jumped up. For the first few weeks, his yards weren't that great. But just in these last two and a half games alone, he's almost up to 500 yards. I think Derrick Henry, well, I shouldn't say I think. I know Derrick Henry is leading the league in yards. I think he's got 900. So, we're not on pace for that by any means, but we're getting there. We're getting up in the right direction. Same with George Pickens. His yards were okay. They weren't really that great. But just in these last couple weeks, man, this week, and then he had some yards in that Colts game, was kind of holding him afloat. And then this last game is brought him back up close to where he should be. It still needs to be higher, but what can I say? Najee Harris I'm sure he's heard all the noise. How could you not? He's been balling. He's making us look dumb for not giving him a 5th-year extension these last couple games. And I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to ball out for us. I've said it every single week. Najee is a workhorse. There used to be a badge for that in Madden or All Pro Sports or something. And it's just basically the longer the game goes on, the more carries you feed the man, the better he gets. If he gets going early, it's going to be a long day for the defense. And then George Pickens, man, he's like the best 50-50 ball receiver in the league. He is. He makes the most difficult catches look routine, while at the same time making the routine catches look difficult. It's just, he's just things he's just used to having to get it out the mud. I don't know how else to describe the dude. He is a monster. He's a dog. He plays with a lot of emotion. He is a young guy who kind of, some would say he flies off the rails sometimes. I don't know if I would go that far with it, but he definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. And if something's bothering him, he's going to let you know. So with Russ being in the game, if the dude's problem is I want him to help make the team better, kind of like that AB situation. It's not like a locker room problem. It's not like a problem with a certain person. It's just like, hey, I can be doing more, and I'm upset that I'm not being involved. I'll take that, especially if you're a great player. And let's get him involved, man. Don't force it, but he's right. He needs to be involved more. And we saw, what happened last week. You just, give him some chances. He's going to make plays, and that's going to ultimately help us be a better team. So I don't have anything really more to add on George Pickens. I salute you, my guy. He's a bona fide dog out there on the field. I'm glad to have you on the team. I do not want us to trade you. I don't want to see you going anywhere else and balling out. So you can ball out right here in Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin's been really coming along. Van Jefferson scored his touchdown last week, and our tight ends, Darnell Washington, Pat Fryermuth, Connor Hayward, like shit, dude. I mean, I still think we need a wide receiver too. I think the Cooper Cup is kind of out of the question now since they won. At least that's what a lot of people are saying, and I kind of got the same sentiment too, to be honest with you. Like, they won, they're back in potential playoff contention. Him and what's the dude's name? Puka Nakua. They both came back the same week. Like, of course they did. They win. They both go crazy. Cooper gets a touchdown. Sean McVay's in the press conference after the game sucking him off. Like, it's just a perfect storm for us to have had the chance but not get him. And I was on record. I'd said I would rather get like a Thielen or somebody that's like that same skill set but cheaper. But I didn't expect them to be off the board like that, man. I thought we could sit and, kind of decide like, hey, we waited out type of situation. I didn't expect the decision to be made for us. So I was like, kind of like, damn, man, sometimes I should just shut the fuck up. And if there's something good that's potentially happening, maybe just don't get in the way of your own shit. Don't block your own blessing. You know what I mean? So, anyway, the Steelers numbers, bro. Look at all this green. Look at all this fucking green. So it's good, man. It's good. Second in points, third in yards, fifth in play action, seventh in average yards a game, second in rush yards, third in attempts, third in rushing average yards a game. Even the passing came up. This has come up. It's in the white. 15th against the yards, 13th against passing attempts. 17th against the passing average. We're 22nd in sacks. A lot of that was due to like our number 2 and number 3 edge rusher missing majority of the season, and people double teaming TJ Watt with their linemen. Sometimes 2 linemen, sometimes a lineman and a tight end, sometimes a lineman and a running back, sometimes a tight end, a running back, a lineman, and a tight end and a defensive back. We're all blocking TJ Watt. Like, the quarterback too. Like, quarterback was just going over there and chipping TJ Watt and then going back to the pocket. It's shit. TJ Watt still made plays. So our sack numbers are going to really come up. A lot of our sacks have been coming from Cameron Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, somebody else too. One of our linebackers got a sack. Was it a Landon Roberts got a sack? I don't know if Patrick Queen's got any sacks yet. I don't think Peyton Wilson has got any sacks yet. So it's mainly D-line. So, oh man, you probably heard that. But now that Alex Highsmith is back, Nick Herbig, if he's not back this week, which I don't think he is, he'll probably be back after the bye. Let him get healthy. We're gonna have some people rushing the passer, man. So those numbers are going to jump up. So don't put too much thought into that. Don't worry your pretty little head on that one too much right now. Oh yeah, we're third in first downs, which is kind of crazy because that Dallas game and the Colts game, the 2 games we lost, we gave up a bunch of third downs. That's probably the only reason we're not in first. The offense, the numbers aren't the greatest here. We know that our team was kind of being, really scrappy and winning games off field goals, winning games off of, making big plays when we had to have them. But these numbers will slowly creep up. We're not going to probably hit too many top top tens on anything. Like we're in the 20s right now. It's going to be real hard to get into like the top tens in any of these categories just because, we're like halfway through the season damn near. But we can get up into the white, which is like, like middle, middle of the pack there, which will be, good comparing to where we started. You know what I mean? As long as we're firing at the right time and go into the playoffs hot, we're going to have a lot of people on their heels, man. So, uh, 21st in points, 25th in yards, 25th in play action, 24th in average yards a game. We are 15th in rush yards, which this has come up. We're 5th in average, which this has actually gone down, which is crazy. The less attempts we're having, the more yards, but at the same time, we may have less attempts because we're having more success. So that's, one could be affecting the other. Um, Average rushing game, not so great. Um, Passing yards, passing attempts. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. 31st, man, second to last. So this is probably what Tomlin was seeing when when he made this decision. This is probably what he was seeing because the eye test with the eye test, you could see that there were some drops, there were some penalties that really affected our big plays. That like some of Justin's best plays and some of George Pickens' best plays wiped away. Never happened. As the weeks go on, you forget about that. You just see the number. So the eye test told us one thing when we watched the games, which is still true, but the numbers, everybody sees the numbers. Everybody sees the numbers. So you just get tired of answering to it. And, you know, it just gets to be annoying. So I think that's just part of what Mike Tomlin saw when he decided to make the move to Russ. And I'll say it again. If it were me, I would have stuck with Justin. But I think Tomlin made the right move. I mentioned in one of my other videos, I was kind of hypocritical because I said we need to ride with Justin and let Russ sit. But in the same breath, I said the Colts need to ride with Joe Flacco and let AR sit. I was on two sides of the coin completely with those two situations. My little ace in the hole was just saying, we're winning with Justin, whereas the Colts were winning with Joe Flacco. So I was still going with the person who was currently winning. So I'm going to stick to that because that sounded good at the time. But that's really all I got for this. I'm not gonna build out a parlay for this because FanDuel has bent me over these last couple weeks so bad. It's my fault. I let them do it. I added another participant to the party who shouldn't have been participating on this said event, and they fucked me. This whole scenario I'm laying out sounds really crazy. Pause that whole, everything I said for the last minute and a half. Pause it all. But I'm not going to build that shit out because I'm pissed off because I lost my money. But I will say my prediction, I said 35, right? Steelers 35, Giants 12. What kind of damn score is 12? 35-15. What the hell is 15? 35-15. Matter of fact, what the hell is 35 either, bro? I don't know. 35-15. I don't know how we're going to get 35. I don't know how they're going to get 15. But if I had to pick touchdown scores, Russ for 2 touchdowns, Russ for 3 touchdowns, all passing. George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Najee Harris, Chris Boswell. Not for a touchdown, but at least one field goal. The Boss is going to make at least one field goal. And somehow that's going to add up to 32. Don't do the math, because I sure didn't. And I don't want to know if I was wrong or not. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've been rambling. We'll catch you later, Steelers Nation.